Mm-hmm.
SKC. SKC. So Adam, you want SKC or do you want to take the challenge of hitting Vancouver?
Up to you. SKC, I don't feel like was a challenge. I feel like there weren't as many names as I thought there would be. But
all right, then go ahead and tell me.
I mean, I know we put him in the Minnesota list, but I put Icopara on this one. This entire list, my 4 picks are Icopara, Matt Beasler, Graham Zusi, and Sestanovic. It's literally the back line.
The back line for like 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, yes, you could put like a Johnny Russell or Benny Feilhaber in here, but that back line was silly.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to stay away from that.
I couldn't.
I mean, you could. Want to know why? It was like this.
Who would I miss? Go for it.
You put Matt Beasler in there, 300 appearances, USMNT, best center back in the league at one point, right? We talked about it. You put Graham Zusi in there, 300 apps, USMNT, plays all over the field. We talked about him again. You put Benny Feilhaber in there. Benny Feilhaber ran the midfield in that team. 34 and 38, 198 USMNT. Crucial to the 2 U.S. Open Cups and the MLS Cup in 2013. Then you put Roger Espinoza in there, and this one I would be open to changing. I didn't want to put Ike in there, I didn't want to put Ike in there because it was 2 center backs, and I thought there were more talent all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been there from 2012 to 2012 to 2018. More of an 8, but he's still going, right? He's almost got 300 appearances, does dirty work in the center, and became a fan favorite. You know, they want him to play there. So I'd be okay with switching him out, but I mean, there are tons of shouts here. You can go vintage Kai Kamara, who was disgusting for them up top. You can go vintage Dom Dwyer, who was disgusting for them up top. There are a lot of players you can put in there. I just didn't want to do a full back line, and I couldn't bring myself to put Jimmy Nielsen in here because I think he had too good of a back line in front of him.
Can I add Jimmy Medranda to my list? Just
No.
Because there aren't many defenders who can also play left wing and every other position apparently in existence.
Have you seen me at Sunday League? There are plenty of them.
I have.
Connor, what do you
got? So I have 3 of the 4 that you had, but we differed on 1. Matt Beasler, obviously, not gonna make an argument. Graham Zusi, same thing. He's like a wing back version of Matt Beasler, essentially. I have Benny as well. For me, it was tough to decide between Benny and Roger Espinoza. Obviously, both could definitely get a shout in this list, but I went with Benny because he's come up with a few big goals or assists for them over the decade. And one thing for me that stood out as to why I picked Benny over Roger is because Benny was there when they won the MLS Cup, but Roger Espinoza at the time was at Wigan. So that's why I went with Benny, because that's probably one of their brightest spots of the decade, if not their most. That's up for debate. And he was there, Roger was not. So I went with him.
Okay.
Obviously, though, Benny, one-time All-Star, one-time Best 11, 12th all-time in appearances, tied for 7th all-time for goals, 4th all-time assister. I don't really need to make a case that much. My last one, definitely up for debate. Could 100% take him out, be fine with it. I can go Roger Espinoza, anybody else, I don't care. I stuck with the coaching thing. I went with Peter Vermees, sorry. And this isn't including his playing career, because that happened before the 2010s. So this is strictly him as a manager. And I think he's one of, if not the only manager that's been with the team for the entire decade. All of the 2010s he was there. He won an MLS Cup with them, 3 US Open Cups. He made the playoffs all but 2 years. He was first in the Western Conference 3 times. He has 169 wins for them. And before he took over, the 5 years before he took over, they missed the playoffs 3 of those 5 years. So I feel like his impact as a manager shouldn't be overlooked, but at the same time could completely take him out for a player or really anybody else that you can make a good case for.
I don't disagree. Yeah. I think there are too many good players that you would put on here where have they made the playoffs every year since he's been
They made the playoffs all but 2 years.
there? Okay. So he's had his ups and downs, and I don't know. I don't disagree. I think he's had a great impact. I just don't know if you leave off players.
No, I get it. I could see the argument the other way, but the coaching thing is kind of my thing for this, so like I'm going with it.
So you have Craig Robinson in Vancouver for the next one.
Oh, absolutely not.
Adam, any thoughts on that to end it? I don't disagree with you.
No, I'm fine with having Peter Ramirez. The only reason I left Benny off, and it wasn't that I left Benny off, it was just whenever I think of that SKC kind of dynasty for those however many years, it's just the back line is what comes to my mind first over Benny, but I'm fine with putting Benny in there.
Okay.